part of that generation, has the advice for parents to keep their kids safe. NYU junior Rikki Schlott joins us now with more. Rikki, I'm excited to talk to you about this morning, because not only as a journalist, but as a parent, as the father of a 13-year-old who, being quite honest, just got his first phone. I'm worried. I'm constantly asking, what's the right decision? When's the right time? When do I allow him to enter into this virtual world? So what advice do you have for us?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that your concerns are completely warranted, because even I, as a 21-year-old, am sometimes behind the trends with what tweens and teens are doing today, and the scheme of what human history has been completely changed by social media and these new platforms that have rewritten what it's like to be an adolescent and to want to fit in and connect. And ultimately, I think the most important thing that parents can do is realize that there is an enormous generational disconnect, but use this new data that we have from the whistleblowers to really make sure that they engage their children in mindful conversation around setting limits and understanding why, not just being a tyrant and saying we don't have social media in this household or we wait until a certain age, but really talking to your children and engaging them in that process and making sure that we're fortifying them with the skill set to ultimately self-regulate and to ultimately be mindful people in the digital age, because these technologies are not going anywhere anytime soon.
Yeah, I know you said in your op-ed, you're 21 years old, you've been on social media for 10 of your 21 years. I believe you said specifically Instagram, since I guess I take it, I can do the simple math, age of 11. So you gave 3 tips, though, for parents, and one of them I think you just laid out for us, which is engage your child. You know, have an open dialogue, have uncomfortable conversations, and make decisions together. But you also said cap screen time, so set boundaries, set limits. What do you mean by that? 30 minutes a day or something? I mean, like, you're putting hard limits when it's time to set down the phone?
Yes, absolutely. I think that it'll be different for every child depending on their technological habits. But on iPhone settings, there is a built-in feature where you can toggle how many hours your child spends on specific apps or on their screen in total. And I think sitting down with your children and having that moment to really have that conversation and say, well, what's your input and what are your needs? And how can we make sure that we're engaging with this technology in a mindful and discrete amount of time is really important, because I think as I look back now as a 21-year-old, there are many books and maybe a few languages I could have mastered in the time that I spent just scrolling on my iPhone.
That's another thing. Harmful is one thing. Waste of time is a whole nother angle. Really quickly, one of your points, one of your pieces of advice, just stave off social media as long as possible. If you look at your own life, your own experience, your friends, I mean, I don't want you to, maybe I do want you to pick and choose. Was there one social media, was there one platform, was there one place that was more harmful in your experience as you watched your friends in your own life unfold? Did you say, hey, be careful, more careful with that one?
Absolutely. I think that Instagram for teen girls is specifically the issue that we're seeing. And Facebook's own data showed that 1 in 3 teen girls experience a worsening of their body image issues on that platform. And ultimately what we're seeing is a bombardment of the highlight reel of everyone else's life. And every woman who's ever been a teen girl knows the desperation to look beautiful and to fit in. And beauty standards have gone from unrealistic to entirely unreal with Photoshop. And what we're seeing right now is an absolute crisis of mental health, specifically with self-harm and suicide attempts among young girls. And so I think, you know, the most important and pressing conversation to have is with the parents.
I got to leave it there, Rikki, but it's great advice on a very important issue that's, honestly, I don't know if you can give it enough attention. Thank you so much, and we'll check out your op-ed. Thank you so much, Rikki.
Thank you so much for having me.
Americans